Well, what made it exciting to me was the opportunity to come at a institution that not only was going to start a new College of Engineering, but also a new chemical engineering department was going to be created. So it's not like just going to a school already had engineering, we're just going to add chemical, but this was both starting a new program and the opportunity to develop chemical engineering. And one of the things that really attracted me was the opportunity to get in on the ground floor or something and build a program where you could work on the curriculum development, laboratory and facilities development, student recruitment, and faculty hiring. So the most ambitious part of our program were the junior and senior clinic projects. These are to be the real world projects where we would go out and try to bring in problems from industry, where we'd have a team of faculty and students to try to solve them. And what I would do is I would try to go out and do these visits to local industry, and I would bring along a faculty member with me, and we would do what we used to call the clinic pitch. And we went over to Johnson Matthey in West Deptford, New Jersey. Now, Johnson Matthey is an international precious metals firm. And we started talking to them about all the different things we could do. And they're really excited. They really wanted a chemical engineering type project. So we got them signed up for the program. And in fact, they were not only the first chemical engineering clinic project, they were the first sponsored industrial project for the college at that time. Some of the other early projects I remember, we did a project with Campbell Soup, another local name. Stephanie Farrell led that. The students got so much out of them. They got a lot of real world experience. And the faculty did a lot too. We got a lot of scholarly activities out of these. We saw the clinics as something to help the economic development of the region, because companies now got, fresh ideas, new approaches to things. And also students they hired for internships and full-time positions. And it really benefited everybody, the university and the students and the faculty. Well, Mr. Rowan was very interested in the progress of things on campus, very engaged. And he would frequently visit campus, I guess primarily look at the progress on the construction of a new building and how that was coming along. But when we started getting students, he was even more interested. He would always come to campus to meet with the students. And we had receptions for the students. He loved coming there, talking, asking them where they're from, what they're doing, how they're doing in the courses. Are they involved in sports? Were they doing some other extracurricular activity? He was very, very interested in the students. And I remember one time he came to campus, and it was a nice spring day like today, and probably the students didn't want to come inside to meet him. They're probably outside on the Rowan Green throwing the Frisbee around. And they all came in, they met, they talked to him. And apparently he asked them about how they were doing in their courses and what they were working on. Well, a few students told him that they weren't spending much time on their homework this week, didn't have many assignments to do. And I guess he didn't take to that too kindly, because we found out that he had later called Jim Tracy on the phone and said, "What's going on down there? The students aren't being challenged enough. They tell me they're not spending any time on homework." So Jim Tracy calls Ralph, TR, and John and myself into his office and says, "Well, Mr. Rowan's really upset." He said the students said they're not doing anything. We said, "Well, Jim, it's probably just because they're enjoying the nice spring weather. I don't think it's that it wasn't really that, that they do get enough work." And so Jim says, "Well, just make sure the next time they come that he knows that they're working on things." So what we did is we went back. We came up with this really difficult assignment to give to students. Now remember, they're only freshmen, so we came up with some upper level problem. Now there's no upper class students in the program, it's just the freshmen, right? So, they had no one to ask. So we made this really complex design problem. So the next time Mr. Rowan visits campus, the students brought the problem out and they gave it to Mr. Rowan. They said, "Oh, can you please help us solve this? We need to help how you can figure out this design principle." And then he spent some time trying to work through the problem. I think that was the last time we ever heard about him asking about the students working hard. And one of the interesting things is I always remember when we invited the students to campus and we were talking to them, uh, sometimes it was difficult with no building there, if we were doing it without, with temporary facilities. And we told the students they had to be risk takers, like Mr. Rowan, because Mr. Rowan started his business with his wife in his garage. And he took a big risk because he gave up a position. He probably could have worked at another corporation for his whole life, but he wanted to start something new and develop something new. And we would tell the students the Mr. Rowan story. And we told them to be risk takers just like him. And it was an interesting time because we were told that the administration was concerned we would not recruit enough students. But what happened was we got a lot of interest and we got a lot of students to join with us in that first year. And these students really bought into the type of program we were doing and really liked the idea because they were taking a freshman engineering course that first semester. So the first week we were doing engineering problem solving with them and engaging them in a real lab. I think he'd be quite pleased. He'd be quite pleased, and I think he'd be amazed at where we are today. It was probably now it's probably even well beyond his vision of what he wanted in engineering education, because he was focused on the engineering school, but this university really took off after that. So I think he would look back and he would be extremely proud of everybody's efforts. And I know he's looking down at us now, smiling.